can you go ahead and call the roll?
Okay.
Which one is this one? Academic?
Academic and Student Affairs.
I had it too.
All right. Chair Tripp. Vice Chair Frost.
She's on the phone.
I can bring it up on my iPad.
Governor Carter. Here. Governor Caruncho.
Here.
Governor Kuntz.
He was here for a second.
He's behind you.
He's here if you call my name later.
Governor Robinson. Governor Stavros. And Governor Yost.
Here.
Chair Tripp, you have a quorum.
Thank you. I'd like an approval of the minutes of March 21, 2012.
So moved.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. We have a number of action items coming before the committee for consideration, and of course a very limited amount of time to work our way through them. While I don't want to shortchange the discussion on any item, I ask that the presenters and members help to keep us on schedule by being as concise as possible. The first academic program item is a PhD in Hospitality Management, known as CIP 52-0901, University of Central Florida.
Good morning. I'm Tony Walter, Provost of the University of Central Florida, and I'm very pleased to bring to you a request for approval of a Hospitality Management PhD in the Rosen College of Hospitality Management. This proposal comes to you with the unanimous support of our Board of Trustees, and with me today I have Rosen College Dean Abe Pazam, Graduate Program Director Paul Romp, and Interim Dean of the College of Graduate Studies, Ross Hinkle. Let me start out by saying that this proposed PhD program is a conversion of an existing hospitality education track in the College of Education at UCF. Dean Robinson in the College of Education very much endorses the move of this degree program as a freestanding program in the Rosen College. No new faculty members are requested in this proposal, and there's no additional cost for course offerings for the program. They already exist. And the faculty of the Rosen College of Hospitality Management are already presenting all the courses necessary for this PhD program. Our proposed implementation date of the independent program is fall 2012. Florida International University and the University of Florida have specializations in hospitality management and tourism within other doctoral programs, but this program at UCF will be the only hospitality management doctoral program in the state of Florida. If you looked at the application, I've included letters from Provost Glover at the University of Florida and Provost Wartzog at Florida International, and they indicate no concerns with us establishing this PhD program. As a brief background for this proposal, when we brought in outstanding external evaluators from other universities, their strong recommendation was that we develop this as an independent doctoral degree program, and I quote, to attract more qualified students and raise the profile of the College of Hospitality Management. The proposed degree program will produce graduates who will serve in the hospitality and tourism industry, and I need not tell this group the largest industry in Florida and the third largest in the world. In 2010, the industry employed nearly 1 million Floridians and served 82.6 million visitors who spent more than $60 billion and generated 22% of the state's sales tax revenue. Central Florida alone attracted more than 50 million visitors, leading to an economic impact in 2010 of $31 billion. We also believe that this independent program will further the position of the Rosen College, which already has a national reputation in hospitality and tourism, but even more importantly, it will serve the needs of the Central Florida city-state. This degree program will produce graduates with the advanced training and skills needed to achieve change and innovation, as well as graduates who will meet the statewide professional and workforce needs. Many of the graduates will teach in Florida's universities and state colleges, and we believe others will work as analysts and managers in industry organizations and large corporations. Let me back that statement up by letting you know that for the students who graduated with the hospitality management track in the College of Education. All have received faculty positions at universities, including 3 within the state university system. This proposal was evaluated and recommended by the department, college, and university graduate committees, and as I mentioned, was unanimously endorsed by our Board of Trustees. Evaluation of this proposal indicates that all program criteria are met or met mostly with strength. Let me repeat that it requires no additional funding, that we will be moving all of the funding from the College of Education to run this program. The only additional cost will be $12,000 that relates to increased needs of library offerings to serve the education for these students. We will certainly be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you. The people with you, do they have any quick comments? We appreciate your coming here. Any questions from the board? Yes, Dr. Hills.
Just a comment. I think it's a well laid out and well conceived idea. I think moving it to the Rosen College makes perfectly good sense. I think from the academic side, great idea.
All right. Any further comments? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes. Thank you very much for
Thank
your
you very much.
presentation. Item number 3B on the agenda is a request from the University of South Florida for approval to implement a PhD in applied behavior analysis. A letter of support is provided from the University of Florida, where a focus area in ABA is provided within the PhD in psychology program. I'll now call on Dr. Ralph Wilcox, Provost at USF, to provide a brief overview of the proposed program and to answer any questions. Dr. Wilcox.
Good morning, Chairman Tripp, members of the board, Chancellor Brogan. I'm pleased to present for your consideration this morning a proposal for a new PhD program in applied behavioral analysis at the University of South Florida. The proposed program is clearly aligned with the goals and priorities of the Board of Governors and is an integral part of the USF strategic plan. It has been unanimously approved by the USF Board of Trustees and reviewed positively by Board of Governors staff. The program's emphasis will be on preparing behavior analysts who are scientific practitioners. Graduates will be employed in community settings such as schools, residential sites, and individual family homes, dealing with issues such as autism and developmental disabilities, as well as Alzheimer's and dementia. The only other like PhD program in the state university system is at the University of Florida, where an ABA concentration is offered as part of the PhD program in psychology. A letter of support from the University of Florida is included in your packet. The program, which will require 54 semester credit hours beyond the master's degree, will be delivered in large part by existing faculty in the university's College of Behavioral and Community Sciences and the Florida Mental Health Institute, with the addition of 2 new faculty members through internal reallocation. Students enrolled in the program will be expected to pass the national certification exam before advancing to candidacy. Building upon our very successful master's degree in applied behavior analysis, demand for PhD graduates across Florida and nationally is growing rapidly. Currently, there are upward of 300 vacant positions advertised nationally, with 181 identified by Board of Governors staff in Florida alone, seeking to fill critical needs in the community as well as in universities. With a 100% placement rate for graduates in our master's degree program in applied behavior analysis, we expect our PhD graduates to find gainful employment and to enter the market with salaries upward of $75,000. Today, I am joined by Dr. Kim Church, Clinical Director of the Human Development Center Incorporated, one of our community partners, Dr. Mario Hernandez, Chair of the Department of Children and Family Studies at the university, together with Dr. Ray Miltenberger, who has served as President of the national organization, the Association for Behavior Analysis International, and is author of the leading textbook in the field. Together, Chairman Tripp, we will be pleased to address any questions that you or other board members may have.
Okay, thank you. Do any of the people with you have any short comments they would like to make? We appreciate your coming. Board, do you have any questions?
Second.
We have a motion for approval.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. Thank you very much for your presentation. The next item is item number 3C on the agenda. And let me just make a comment that we don't just regularly come up and pass these PhDs. They have been fully vetted by staff. Every member was aware that these PhDs were coming before us, and no one indicated prior to this meeting that they had any concerns with these. John Temple will tell you that when they come up and he doesn't like them, there is some heated debate on whether or not we need these, and we go forward. So we don't want this to seem like we're not concerned with them. These are well accepted by the board prior to their getting here. Item number 3C on the agenda is a request from Florida State University for approval to consolidate 29 independent graduate programs in the School of Teacher Education as individual majors under a new program in curriculum and instruction. This action is being brought to the Board of Governors for consideration because it requires the technical termination of 9 existing doctorate programs and the creation of a new PhD in curriculum and instruction. And I will now call on Dr. Garnett Stokes, Provost at FSU, to provide a brief overview of the proposed consolidation and to answer any questions. And I'm always glad to hear about consolidation and termination. Sometimes those make sense.
Thank you very much. In order to make best use of limited faculty and staff resources, FSU's College of Education has consolidated all of our teacher education faculty into one large department called the School of Teacher Education. This request to consolidate 9 graduate degree programs under one more general degree, curriculum and instruction, is really part of our larger effort to increase efficiency. As already mentioned, this requires both approval of the new doctoral program in curriculum and instruction, as well as the termination of the 9 independent degrees that have existed. Because the faculty will be collaborating across sub-disciplines to teach courses and to advise students, it will allow FSU to offer several curricular options to students interested in contributing to our K-12 system as master's, specialist, or doctoral degree graduates. Prior to submitting this request, several key administrators from FSU met with the Board of Governors staff who guided us in preparing a detailed proposal for staff review. As part of that process, our Dean, Marcy Driscoll, reached out to Dean Garcia at Florida International University, which has a similar program. Dean Garcia believes that this administrative change at FSU will not affect the FIU program in any way, including in their ability to have a diverse student population. Further detail about this proposal is found in the Board of Governors staff analysis and agenda item, and I want to thank the staff for assisting us in this endeavor in such a professional manner. They really worked with us very well, and we appreciate it. This proposal received the unanimous approval of our Board of Trustees, and I think, in summary, this represents the consolidation makes best use of our limited resources, and it encourages collaboration and development of broader perspectives among our faculty and graduate students. The structure is also consistent with the way in which teacher education programs are organized at some of our aspirational institutions. So I appreciate your consideration of this proposal and am able to answer any questions.
Any questions? All
I
right,
have a
hearing none,
question.
I would like, I'm sorry.
I have a question, Norman. I have a question. I'm in favor of it, is Patricia, but I want to know that the students who are in the other programs that are being phased out, which I commend you for doing, are they going to be affected with graduation, or is it going to affect their major?
No,
It will affect anyone who is now exists in a program that you are phasing out.
The students that are currently there will have the opportunity to decide whether to continue in their current program or to take on this new degree program. So they're going to have the option, and we intend to serve those students through to completion of their degrees, regardless of their choice.
Thank you.
Any further questions, Pat?
No, that's it. I approve of this. Yes.
Thank you. Anything from the board?
Yeah.
All right, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second? All in favor,
Second.
say aye.
Aye.
All right, the
Aye.
motion to approve is the consolidation of Florida State University teacher education graduate programs to create the PhD in Curriculum and Instruction, CIP 13.0301, and terminate the 9 doctoral programs identified in the agenda item and proposal. I'm reading that to make sure that that was the motion. Thank you. Items number 3D and 3E on the agenda are requests from the University of North Florida to approve an exception to the 120 credit hours to degree requirement and limited access status for the Bachelor of Science in Biology, medical laboratory science majors. The increase in credit hours is needed because the upper division of the program includes 65 semester hours of core didactic coursework and practicum required by the National Accrediting Agency for Clinical Laboratory Sciences. Limited access status is requested because of limited instructional facilities for the clinical experience required for the completion of the program. The exception to the 120 credit hours to degree requirement in limited access status will apply only to the medical laboratory science major under the BS in biology. The university intends to convert the major into a standalone degree program, and the 120 exception and limited access status will then apply to the new program. Is there anybody to make any comments from the University of North Florida? Hearing none, I would like to ask for a motion to approve an exception to the 120 credit hours to degree requirement and limited access status for the Bachelor of Science in Biology / Medical Library Science major at the University of North Florida.
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Yeah. I think President Delaney is probably out there continuing to lobby Governor Rood on his vote. It's been a major dramatic change from last year to this year. I knew Delaney was a hell of a politician, but he's really proving his point now.
Let's stay on the point.
All right. Item number 3F on the agenda is a request from the University of South Florida to approve limited access status for the Bachelor of Arts / Bachelor of Science in Global Business offered at the St. Petersburg campus. This action is requested in order to align with the required student-faculty ratio needed for program accreditation standard, and because of limited faculty and instructional facilities on the separately accredited campus. existing state university baccalaureate degree programs in the same CIP code 52.1101 are all approved as limited access. Any presentation on this? Judy, do you have anything to say? Any comments? Okay. Any questions from board members? If not, can we have a motion to approve limited access status for the Bachelor of Arts / Bachelor of Science in Global Business at the University of South Florida, St. Petersburg?
So moved.
Second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. Item number 4 is termination of academic infrastructure support status for the Florida Center for Library Automation. The 2012 legislature eliminated FCLA and transferred its responsibilities to the new Florida Virtual Campus. Because FCLA will not exist past June 30, 2012, termination as an AISO is necessary. Is there any discussion necessary? Staff, do you have anything to say?
Mr. Chair, I apologize. Are you on termination of academic infrastructure support?
Yep.
I just, if you'll indulge me, just a quick word. Complicated issue, but at the end of the day, good news to report is the fact that there is a very large and concerted effort undertaken right now to totally reframe and reorganize how we do business in terms of the way we operate our library systems, both state university system as well as the Florida College System library. We have everyone at the table, the legislature and their staff are at the table, and I cannot say enough about the good work of so many people who've gotten this as far as they have. The action before you today rather clears the decks and will allow for the newly created system to be inserted in its place that will not only provide greatly enhanced access on a virtual scale to our library systems, but also the support systems that students need to be able to be successful with that information and with that opportunity. So I appreciate you indulging me that, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to bring it to your attention.
Thank you. All right, do I have a motion to terminate academic infrastructure support organization status for the Florida Center for Library Automation?
Second.
Is there a motion second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. Item number 5 is approval of the application form for $15 million in performance funding made available by the 2012 legislature. House Bill 7135 created a pilot project to implement performance funding for a select category of degree programs associated with computer science and information technology. 50% of a university score must be based on factors determined by the Board of Governors which relate to increasing the probability that graduates who have earned degrees in the programs identified on a targeted program list will be employed in high-skill, high-wage, and high-demand employment. The supporting documentation outlines 4 types of partnerships which have been identified as factors that lead to stronger industry-university relationships and that provide direct workforce linkages to students and graduates from degree programs on the targeted program list. If approved, these will become the factors that will determine 50% of a university's rank score. Up to 4 awards for a total of no more than $15 million can be made to universities that can demonstrate that they have developed the type of incentives that the legislation encourages. A report is due by December 31st to the governor and the legislature containing the university rankings and award distributions. The board will announce these awards for performance at its November board meeting. Now, I would like to ask board staff to take about 5 minutes to describe the application form and explain the criteria that the Board of Governors must approve.
Thank you, Governor Tripp.
Good morning.
Good morning. The legislation calls for the board to determine 50% of a university score.
Could you get closer to the microphone?
Sure. The legislation calls for the Board of Governors to approve 50% of the university score based on factors that target increased student employment prospects. In your board packet is a description of the 4 types of partnerships that have been identified as factors that will lead to stronger industry-university partnerships and that provide direct workforce linkages to students. Each of these 4 types of partnerships is scored by both the number of existing programs and the number of students who have participated in the programs for the past several years. The 4 types of partnerships in your packet are cooperative education, internships, collaborative partnerships with business and industry, and industry employment scholarship programs. Board staff has developed the criteria presented for your approval in close consultation with legislative staff. We are satisfied that the criteria developed represent the legislature's intent to promote strong industry-university partnerships and direct workforce linkages for students in computer science and information technology. Be happy to respond to any questions.
Okay, any questions? Dr. Yost.
Jan, have these criteria gone to the provost or to the academic programs for computer science and computer technology at the universities who have significant investments in that for feedback?
We distributed this application form to the Council for Academic Vice Presidents, CAVP, for feedback. I didn't get any feedback. We talked about it briefly last night. One thing I do need to stress is this is not an RFP for future performance. It's criteria which was pretty strongly defined by the legislature for past performance.
Okay, but you've checked with the provost and gotten whatever feedback they were going to offer. Right? I just want to make sure that somewhere that had gotten back, that not only were we worried about legislative intent, but also that it made sense at the university level.
I did circulate the application form.
Thank you. Okay.
Any other questions? All right, I would like a motion then to approve the application form for $15 million in performance funding made available by the 2012 legislature.
So moved.
Second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman.
Next, I'm sorry.
Just a quick update. We will also, Jan, we'll be bringing those back by is it the November meeting?
Yes. The applications are going to be, I talked to the CAVP last night. Applications are due the end of September. We wanted to give the university some time because faculty may be gone for the summer, and then the board will review the recommendations and evaluation and rankings in November.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is our student affairs update, and our new governor, Cortez Watley, and is Dr. Mary Beth Ihas here? Yes. Would you like, we've got about 5 minutes, if you could give us an update, appreciate it.
I'll yield to Dr. Ihas.
Thank you, Cortez. Or I should say Governor Cortez. Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to spend just a minute to update you on a program that the Council for Student Affairs is pursuing related to anti-hazing activities in our state institutions. We have a team in place to plan 3 statewide anti-hazing summits during National Anti-Hazing Week at the end of September. These summits would be held at the University of Florida, Florida Atlantic University, and the University of South Florida, and they're being coordinated by staff members at each of those institutions. The idea is to have summits available throughout the state that are in close proximity to allow for maximum attendance by diverse campus teams, specifically student affairs staff members, academic affairs, student government members, Greek organizations, parents, alumni, and other interested parties. And second, we've also made contact with the president of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity, and they are organizing and working together with others on the national front to move forward an anti-hazing coalition, and they're willing to partner with us in planning anti-hazing activities. We have a call coming up with them to move that forward a little bit more. Third, the Council for Student Affairs is planning a one-day drive-in summit here at UCF in early August, where we'll be working on our 2012-2013 work plan, along with other topics. And fourth, we look forward to working with Governor Tripp, getting to know him better, helping him understand our work, and the committee as well, in terms of how we support learning and student success in our state university systems. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Governor.
Thank you. My report is pretty brief. First, I wanted to recognize any student body presidents in the room, but I think they might have left. I know TJ from UF was here and Laura from FIU were here. But it looks like they've gone. But as far as Florida Student Association goes, we are planning our conference meeting, or our planning conference, which will be the second week of August. It looks like, so I'll be contacting board staff and other members throughout the state to come and participate if they like. So I don't have much to report now. At our next meeting, I anticipate I'd have a lot to report as we go throughout our planning conference and start to figure out our legislative agenda and sort of what we're going to be doing throughout the next year. So.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any further comments? All right, hearing none, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second? We stand adjourned. I saved you 3 minutes.
I appreciate